Hey everyone, what is good? Welcome back to the channel. This is Silver Hyena, and what I have going for today's video, I am gonna face them again. Yes, inside this seemingly ordinary, bland cardboard box with the words Arteza written across it is yet another set of the Arteza Colored Pencils. Now then, my original Arteza Colored Pencil review is probably one of the most mixed reaction videos I have ever done. I went in wanting to love these. Love these like they were my own pets or children. That didn't happen. I showed this one earlier, but look at how short this pencil is compared to one that was hardly even used. Look at this. That's all because the lead just kept breaking. The point is, for however much these colored pencils were, they should not have been breaking that much. And that I find a horrible disappointment, because I was so looking forward to finally getting a set of these colored pencils, trying them out for myself. I had seen numerous good reviews about them, so I was super psyched, and yeah, quite frankly, they fell flat on their face, if they had faces. Yeah, so there's a quick recap, just in case you haven't seen the original video, although if you want to see the original video, I will have a link in the description below, and one of the little eyeball thingies, blah, blah, blah. I can't talk right now. Anyways, I'm gonna just crack this sucker open, and show you, well, okay, here's the tin for a bit, but we've got to use this cardboard box here, you know what that means. I'm gonna yeet it and have fun doing so. So yes, this is actually a much smaller set. My original review was the 72 count. I got the 48 just because, since I want to face these colored pencils again, but just in case I have the same results as last time, I didn't spend nearly as much money on it. However, one good thing right off the bat that I can tell is that this tin is 100% snail free. So already, Arteza, you're doing better than last. And I need to pick that up later. So as you can see, it's a beautiful tin, and Arteza, they know what they're doing with the presentation. You've got a list of all your colors on the back. So it's like I am really, really anxious. I'm really nervous, but I am hoping that these not only redeem themselves, but that I love them as much as I was hoping I would originally. So with that being said, let's get started. Okay, so here we are, magnificent tin, and okay, hopefully I can pop this sucker open. Alrighty, so as you can see on the inside of the lid, you've got your, oh geez, why can't I think of it? Light fastness chart. There we go. Geez, one of the most important words of art supplies, and I totally just completely blanked. Anyways, here's that nice little foam blanket. And Well, the plastic liners are a little cheap. Okay, a lot cheap. The presentation of these colored pencils is still very beautiful and aesthetically pleasing. I do love it. I'm just so nervous. I feel like I'm facing down my enemy, my nemesis. But if I can take one thing from this, these things, freshly opened, smell darn good. I do love the smell of freshly opened up colored pencils. It is just, I equate it to new car smell. It is one of those, just one of those little things. Anyways, I'm gonna scoot this off to the side for a hot minute. I got a lot of swatching to do. And I got that. Look, I mean, like, I even remember to write what it is and everything. I'm on fire today. Anyways, I'm gonna swatch all of these out and then think of something to draw, because that's very important. And one thing that was mentioned and that I have admitted myself, I have a very heavy hand and I'm not very patient. Colored pencils are not for impatient people. However, I use them anyway, so make of that what you will. But before I speed things up, I am just gonna go in here trying to tame my heavy hand, try to do things the right way, the correct way. Because, like, it goes down on the paper very nice. Until the lead started to break. Because in my original review of these colored pencils, the swatching process, everything was fine and lovely. It wasn't until I started doing actual artwork did it start just no. But I'm holding on to hope. I really, really, really want to like these. I really, really want to have a redemption arc for these. So I'm gonna finish swatching these out, and then I need to think of something to draw. So yeah, let's just speed things up a bit. Alright, probably one of my sloppiest and messiest and swatch pages, but I'm not too worried about that. Luckily, so far, no broken leads, so I've got some hope. The color seems to go down nice, as it did before, so all I can say now is it's time to draw up something and cross my fingers, so let's just get to that. Okay, so before I begin in earnest, too late, I know, I would very much love it if perhaps you'd visit my Instagram at SilverHyenaArt. Good, now that I've said my piece then, let us carry on. So since my first time using Arteza Colored Pencils, I drew my character Neo, one of my Kandiri, I decided to draw another Kandiri to try out this set. Leave it to me to create an entire race and mostly focus on drawing the females. So this time I decided to draw a male of the species. Now I wanted to show just how much bulkier the male Kandiri are. They average about 6 to 1.5 feet taller than the females. Males tend to be warriors, while the female Kandiri tend to be sorceresses and clerics.
I just keep a lot of stuff like this in my head. Some of my friends have actually asked me, why don't you have a book yet? Seriously, that is a thought that comes to mind often. But in the meantime, I can share some of the inner workings of my brain with you right here. Anyways, on to the reevaluation of these pencils. The first thing that I'd like to mention is just how buttery smooth Arteza Colored Pencils are. You don't have any of that grittiness, I want to say, you might get with some of the really dirt cheap art supplies. Specifically colored pencils. These, they just go down on the paper beautifully. Next up is the blending and layering. These pencils layer and blend very well. As stated earlier, it is a very slow process that requires a ton of patience. 9.5 times out of 10, colored pencils are a medium that requires patience. And a hearty risk, I might add. While you may be nice and cozy with a cup of coffee watching this speed draw, do keep in mind that this entire piece took about 6 hours, give or take, filmed over the course of several days. Darn you, day job! But I was battling against my own impatience and heavy-handedness, so I layered. And layered. Then I layered even more. However, the strangest feeling occurred. I was enjoying myself, unlike the last time I used Arteza Colored Pencils. Even though the process felt like it was going to go on forever, I never once found myself getting impatient or frustrated. The lack of broken leads really helped with that little issue. Of course, hand cramping was an issue, but that's hardly Arteza's fault. Sharpening is just the nature of the beast. If you use colored pencils of any brand, sharpening is just something that you'd better get used to. Luckily, I was able to restore a nice sharp point without too much work. Moving on to the color selection. As stated earlier, I originally reviewed the 72 count set of Arteza Colored Pencils. Here, I'm using the 48 set. Now, despite the reduction in total pencils, the overall selection is still very nice. There's plenty of brights, neutrals, and bolds, and an excellent range of lights and darks. There's plenty of brights, neutrals, and bolds, and an excellent range of lights and darks to create depth. Among my favorites is indigo blue. Indigo blue is one of my go-to colors for shading when it comes to colored pencils. One of my major issues with a lot of cheaper colored pencil sets is the lack of color ranges. But this set delivered. I also mentioned and even shared the light fastness chart that comes right on the tin. Some colors have a fantastic rating, others not so much. Just reference the chart, or there's even a corresponding marking on the barrel of the pencil itself. However, I will say this, I don't care if something has a 100% light fastness rating. It's not a wise idea to just leave a piece of artwork in direct sunlight. Why tempt fate? Like seriously, why would you do that? As for this piece, well, I'll tell you my final thoughts in just a moment.
Okay, so the important million-dollar question is, have these pencils redeemed themselves? Well, if for whatever reason you just fast forwarded through all the artwork and everything and just came to the end for whatever reason, I'll tell you. Yes. Yes, they have. Yeah, I was so nervous going in initially because of the absolutely horrendous experience I had before, but these were fantastic. I mean, it was night and day, A and Z. So I'm ecstatic. It's like I could recommend these and not feel bad. I mean, like, I set the tin down and then it's like I keep turning and staring at them. I don't know. Anyways, here. I'll just show you this again for good measure. There we go. Like, I had a lot of fun working on this, even though I probably spent more time than what is acceptable for a page in a sketchbook that will never be torn out, because I find that very taboo for some reason. I can't explain it, I just do. Anyways, I certainly hope that you have enjoyed this video and that it has helped you in some way. I know it helped me a lot. I am really glad now that I did go back in and take a gamble on those Arteza Colored Pencils. If you want to see my original review and what I was talking about, like just terrible luck, I will have a link to that in the description below. Anyways, with that being said, leave a like, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and this is Silver Hyena signing off. Stay creative, everybody. Bye!